They're saying they won't know that I'm on the ski hill right now. I'll just stop at the top of the run and text my boss and say that this is on its way. And that's the beauty. They see that as that's how it should be, because we are a global workforce as well now. So you can live anywhere in the world and get the work done.
But it's a fast thumb world, I understand. It really is, apparently. I'm a bit Amish when it comes to fast thumbs. And that's a problem perhaps in the workplace because, you know, everybody can't work a BlackBerry.
Well, and I think it's a real problem amongst, you know, against, I don't know, the generations and all the X's and Y's and things like that, but I do know that for the younger ones, younger employees, it's absolutely not a source of stress. It's like having a BlackBerry is like having a pencil. Whereas someone that's older, it's been around a while, feels that they have to in order to keep up. And so it actually is a source of stress for them. And so they often assume that for the other employees, it must be a source of stress for them too. So they're telling them when they're out of balance, when in fact those aren't the issues that they're out of balance about.
That's interesting, because I can't imagine anything worse than somebody being able to find me 24/7. And they can. We have cell phones, we have BlackBerries, we have all these gadgets, and if you have it turned on, some bosses expect you to be at their beck and call 24/7.
And as a result, some companies have actually put restrictions on when you can actually get hold of people. So they'll say you can't start contacting people till, let's say, 7 or 8 in the morning, and then you can't email people after 6 o'clock, because they just realize there's this expectation that you're available at all times to do all these things. And then the question is, how do you find the workplace which fits your values? Like, what are the values that are important to you? What actually keeps you in the workplace? What keeps you away from the workplace? And that's going to be different for different people.
But that said, I'd love to go home on a sunny day and spend 2 hours in the sun and work between 8 and 10 at night. The flex hours are so great.
That's where the customization to individual expectations, I think employers need to pay attention to this. Not just about how do they want to work, what are the benefits they want. We're starting to see a lot more like a la carte benefits companies are offering versus sort of like everybody gets medical, everybody gets dental. Now some companies are saying, well, you can have spa as an option, or you can have a ski lift ticket, or some of the progressive organizations are saying we want to customize what we can give our employees so that they'll stay more engaged.
And that's also, I think, a different thing around the generations as well, because I was working for a company where they went to flex benefits, and everyone thought this is going to be great. People pick their own benefits, and a lot of the older employees were just, they were paralyzed because now they're used to having those decisions made for them.
That's right.
Because now I have to choose my benefits. What if I pick the wrong ones? And they start projecting into the future, and that, well, I'm not going to be able to eat, but I'll have good teeth, and that sort of thing. So it was
Fine
crazy.
dental plan.
Well, you know, the other day I saw Dave Chalk speak, and he said technology is not the problem. It's the fact that the boomers aren't willing to change to adopt to the technology and what it can do. And I do think boomers have and we're generalizing, but I think there's a more challenging acceptance of using technology to simplify our lives. And we do resist it because we go, well, I've got to choose my benefits. You're right. We've been in a rule-based employer environment where the employee always made those decisions. Now,
top down.
Absolutely.
Go to the boss, he'll tell you what to do. And we are more rebellious. Boomers are certainly more well, we're a peace, love, dove, but we also
we're becoming
want
rebellious.
The me generation, we want what we want when we want it.
Yes.
I think there's something around predictability as well, that I find that some of the newer employees, they don't care so much if there's predictability. They know that there's not a step to go from here to here to here to become vice president. Whereas there's a lot of folks been around for a while. It's always been, the path has been clear, and the more unpredictable things get, and the more people know that it's unpredictable, the more they seem to want predictability at some level, which I think really incapacitates them in the organization.
Sure, and the whole workforce has changed, as you know, because there are more females working today than ever before, I would guess. You probably know the stats.
Yes.
But do we yet have a gender-neutral workplace?
No. And as a matter of fact, the discrimination against women continues to be huge. One of the biggest areas of discrimination for women is actually pregnancy, or the perception of pregnancy in Canada. You know, we think of these in other places, and the difficulty is that, you know, we want women to have children. All the Western industrialized countries are saying we want their own people to have them, which is a little bit xenophobic. It's because it's sort of saying like, gee, we really don't want other people. And yet when it comes to the workplace, there's a lot of women who, just because they're in childbearing years, they won't get those jobs, they won't get those opportunities, and it's hard to prove. So unfortunately, in 2007, it's hard to imagine that we still have a lot of discrimination against women, and there is.